Hi, I'm Brent Top. I am so pleased to be part of Gospel Scholar, and I'm especially pleased to have great colleagues that are also teaching great courses on Gospel Scholar, and I have learned a great deal from all of them. I have been a religious educator for 45 years, 11 years with seminaries and institutes, and 34 years as a full-time faculty member at BYU in religious education. There I taught virtually every course that we had in religious ed. I've taught at the BYU Jerusalem Center. I served as department chair of the Church History and Doctrine Department. And I'm not a church historian, but I do know a little bit about doctrine. And then I served for many years as the Dean of Religious Education. Now, I just recently retired, and so maybe I've lost all of the memory that I built up over 45 years. We'll see as we go through this course. When I was first starting out as a seminary and institute teacher, a very young seminary teacher in Arizona, I remember reading something from Elder Bruce R. McConkie, where he said, "We just don't realize how much everything we have in this life is based on the premortal existence." Now that really hit me, and I thought, well, what does that mean? And how does our life then and there affect us right here and now? And I started to research everything that I could find on the premortal existence. And I started to discover that there are more things that have been said by prophets and apostles, and more things said in the scriptures than we sometimes think, but probably not as much as we would want. And so it's kind of like a giant jigsaw puzzle that we get a little piece here and a little piece here, and we're trying to get the border around the picture, and we're finding these little pieces, and maybe we don't have the whole picture and we don't have the box so that we can see the picture. But when we start getting more and more of those pieces of the puzzle, then more and more of the picture starts to emerge. And so that's what this course is all about. It is about, what do we know about the premortal existence? How does it affect us here and now? How can it strengthen us and guide us as we face difficult challenges in mortality? And how does it prepare us for eternal life? And so one of the things that I like to think of in the plan of salvation is that you have like these books behind me in these bookshelf. You have the books about mortality, and so much more has been written and said about our mortal existence and why we come to earth. But on both ends of that mortal existence, we have two bookends. We have the premortal existence and the postmortal existence. And both of those are like bookends in the plan of salvation. And we cannot really understand our full purposes in mortality without understanding something about the life before and something about the life beyond. So in my research on the premortal existence, as I gathered some things together, I started working on a book. And I wanted to call the book "Everything You've Ever Wanted to Know About the Premortal Existence, But You Can't Remember." Now, the reason why I say that is because we know about the veil of forgetfulness. And then when you couple that with a statement from Elder Neal A. Maxwell, where he says that when we say, "I know," in reality, we are saying, "I know again." Because we have been taught, we learn so many things. There were so many things that we bring with us, which we'll talk about as part of this course. And so there's four main points that we are going to, or four major components of this course that we're going to talk about. Okay, the first one is going to be our nature as daughters and sons of God. What does that mean? Second, we're going to talk about what do we know about the conditions that prevailed in the premortal world, and why is that important? Then thirdly, we're going to talk about the war in heaven and the principles of foreordination and how that affects us now. But then most of all, the fourth point or the fourth segment of this course is going to be, how does this knowledge affect us or should affect us right here and now? How does this knowledge, this doctrine, inspire and motivate and help us to understand who we once were so that we can do what we are now and what the Lord wants us to become hereafter?